I'm Amanda from Modern Successful Parenting, and we're here to help your children spread their wings and fly through life. Let's talk about types of discipline. We're looking at how we can help children have positive lives. Now, the positive discipline techniques that we've spoken about earlier are fantastic ways to guide children to doing the right thing. But how can we actually support them to always do the right thing? Well, one of the really important things is to keep them active. A tired kid is generally not going to misbehave as much as a child who's full of energy. Now, if they're overtired, obviously, then they're going to get whingy and cry and not cope with things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about keeping them active. Take them to the park every day. Play ball with them. Even if it's that you've got a trampoline and jump on a trampoline, or go for a run, or go to the park and go for a swing. Any of those things are really, really important to keep the kids active. And the more active they are, the better their body works and the better their body copes with the stresses of life. Make sure that you keep your routine. So morning routines, wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, clean your teeth, read a book, just get dressed, do those sorts of things in the same order every day, and that will really help support your little one to make good choices. In the evening, have a set evening routine so that they know that bed is coming. Because for some of them, bed is an anxiety where they're left alone in a room and they really don't know how to go to sleep. They need to learn how to go to sleep. But if they have a routine that is set up so that they know that after this it is bed, then you'll make your life so much easier. Bedtime can be a really stressful time for everyone. I can remember sitting in the bedroom just in the dark with my child, with a nightlight there, just sitting there going, hurry up and go to sleep, hurry up. And not interacting with her at all, but just letting her lie there. And I was sitting in the same room because she was too scared to go to sleep on her own and to be in the room on her own. Now, that was only a short thing that happened. It only happened for a couple of months and then she was fine again. And she'd been fine before that. So these are just stages sometimes that kids go through. But keeping those routines the same really helps them to understand. Have some quiet time. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to have a rest. But quiet time means that you're going to sit together quietly and read a book. You're going to maybe sit and colour in for a bit, and you can each of you colour in your own things. Maybe it's just sitting down and counting some things, something that's really quiet. And that quiet sitting down time will help them extend their concentration. In order to be able to concentrate, they need to be able to sit. And in order to be able to sit, they need to learn to have that quiet, centered time. It's all about well-being at the moment, and having well-being in your life is also about having this quiet time. Having that meditation time where you slow your brain down, you slow your breathing down, and you just quietly do something together. I've got to say, the most important, I keep saying everything's important, and yes, everything is important, but prevention is so much better than cure. So if you can prevent them from doing the wrong thing in the first place, it makes it so much easier, and then you don't have to do as much discipline. Sometimes you get yourself into this routine where you're just disciplining them all the time, and it's just like, hang on, stop, way too much, way too much. So you really need to consider what rules you need to discipline, or what actions you need to discipline, and what you can actually leave to either natural consequences, or you can leave and still be sane. So sometimes it'll be, okay, I'm not going to press them to clean up after dinner, because after dinner their toys are a mess. It's just too much hard work to get them to clean up because they're just being so naughty. So let's not worry about that for the next couple of months, and once they've gone to bed, I'll just clean up the mess. So that way you still have a clean and healthy lifestyle, but the fight just isn't worth it. And then as they get a bit older, so a couple of months pass, then you can start implementing that cleaning process. And you can start implementing it just in small amounts. And then you might end up after a month of implementing just small bits of cleaning that they can then clean up after themselves before they go to bed. And setting up those routines and setting up that expectation really will help with your positive discipline and the health of the family. Relationships are the foundation for discipline. If you don't have a relationship with the child, then you can't discipline the child. So don't expect someone who comes in to be able to say to a kid, you need to sit here and do this for 10 minutes, because they'll just look at them and go, why? I don't need to do that. You've got nothing on me. And that's the way that discipline works. It's about relationships. So the better relationship you have with your child, you'll find that you'll have much better positive outcomes with your discipline. Now, I can't stress that enough. Your relationship is built upon common experiences. So the more that you do things with your child, whether you play with them, whether you take them for walks, whether you go to the park with them, whether you sit and eat with them, all that family time together builds those relationships. All that time that you spend with one another is what builds those relationships, and that is the foundation for positive discipline. Children will want to make you happy. They will want to be with you. They will want to do the right thing if you've got a positive relationship with them. One of the best things I can remember my 4-year-old was just, I was tearing my hair out with her at one stage. And someone said to me, only discipline the 10% which is going to cause her harm. For instance, running across the road, she could get hit by a car, so definitely discipline that. Pulling all of the Tupperware out of the drawer, not going to discipline that, but I'm just going to fix it up after her and just show her that I'm sad. I'm sad that you're not helping me fix all this up. I don't mind that you made the mess, but we need to clean up after. And then I just cleaned it up. And it was so powerful for me, because what it did was it took away all the stress of trying to discipline, of trying to make her do the right thing. And it just turned it on its head. It meant that together, they could make a mess, yes, they could stretch the boundaries, but together we could fix it up. And that relationship of being able to do things together still stays strong now now that they're young adults. And this is the really wonderful thing about positive discipline, is that you do build those really positive relationships with your child. Power play can be one of the most devastating things that can happen in your life. What I'm talking about is that power that the kids have over you. Now, for instance, if you start getting into an argument with them and you know that it's going to go nowhere, there's really no winners in that. And this is a power play. You know, for instance, bedtime. They have to go to bed. You really want them to go to bed because you need some time for yourself. Now, they will try everything in their power to not go to bed. And this is a power play between you want them to do something and they don't want to do it. Now, if you come into that and you make that an argument, that's what the power play is. If you just say, this is it, and you keep saying, you're going to bed, you're going to bed, you're going to bed, then you keep the power. Now, we're not trying to be overpowering our children. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not becoming into arguments with your child. You need to go to bed because you're going to be tired tomorrow. you need to go to bed because you've got kindy tomorrow. You're not going to get enough sleep. You're going to feel sick in the morning. You don't go into arguments. They just want to keep you arguing so that they don't have to do the thing that they want to do. And this power play can happen in all sorts of different ways, but it's always about when you want them to do something for their benefit. Now, they don't see what the benefit is. They just see, oh, this is something that I can have fun with mum or with dad. This is something that's really important to them, and if I want to get under their skin, this is what I can do. So if you just keep very constant and say the same thing again and again and again, you'd be surprised how quickly they'll fold. Now, often when this happens, it's the consistency of these approaches that will help you get through some of the really worst behaviour. Sometimes their behaviour, when you start implementing these techniques, gets worse. But believe me, if you consistently stick to this and you don't break from it, it will make your life so much better in the future. But you do have to stick with it, and sometimes it can be really tricky to stick to, but it's so worth it. And it's worth it for their future success, for when they're young adults and they're trying to live in the world and trying to become successful people.
Thank you for watching Modern Successful Parenting. All advice and information given during this course is designed for general use only. If you have any concerns for your child, please seek professional advice as soon as possible. For terms and conditions, see website www.modernsuccessfulparenting.com.au. Thank you.